concern I have is that, obviously last night was quite prominent, but, this is occurring every single night. One game a night, there is a completely blown call like that occurring. And, we've got MLB looking at all these ways to bring people, back to the ballpark and to get people more engaged.
Yeah.
Yet they're not addressing the fundamental flaws in the game, and that's what really annoys me. They're trying all these stupid experimental rules in the Atlantic League.
Oh my God!
And you think
there's some bad ones out there.
Automatic strike zones, things like that.
Yeah.
How about we address the issues that are currently plaguing the game, which frustrate fans, and that has an impact on whether they want to watch or not?
Yes, especially if you're taking 7 minutes to go over a replay and you're coming back and getting it wrong.
This is my problem with video review in all of sports now, okay? We've got into a world now where we have video for everything, right? So my number one concern, and I said this before video review became a thing, now you're going into murky waters because now if you don't get the call right after this, now you're taking the human element out of it. Now you better get it right. So now I'm just shocked at how some of these are like bang bang, so it's different, but so many calls in different sports, and I'm not even going to bring up other sports because there's one that's just insane. It just happened last year in the NFC Championship game, but it's like in baseball, some of these plays are so clear. How do you come back out of the replay review, like Luke just said, 7 minutes later, you saw all the angles, and you're showing it. What's worse is you're showing it on TV. So the fans are seeing it, and then you come out and you tell them completely something different that they saw with their own eyes.
And people complain about the length of the game. If I'm sitting there for an extra 5 minutes watching this replay over and over and over, and you come back and get it wrong, then why am I'd rather you take away replay altogether.
But to me, it's worse because it's worse when they show it to you on a broadcast.
But what else are they going to do? Are you going to sit there and not watch anything for 5 minutes?
I'm just saying. No, but I'm saying, but it's worse that they're showing it to you, and then they come out and they're like,
but they shouldn't get it wrong. And they shouldn't get it wrong. They should get it right.
The worst is when both broadcasts are like, oh, he's clearly going to come back and say this is out now.
Yeah,
and then they come back out and they're like, he's safe.
So they want to get more accurate with the replays, but on the other side, they're trying to speed the game up and condense the game. And those two issues they butt heads, because if you're trying to get everything right, it's taking more time, lengthening the game.
Exactly.
So it's a lose-win, lose-win-lose type of situation. Like you never win on both sides, especially when you're getting the calls wrong.
Well, you were never going to win when they went into this video review thing. They had to do it because it was a modern-day technology, but it's like I could have told you this. This was the murky water you're getting into when these sports go into video replay. Now all of a sudden it's how many challenges you get a game, how many can be used on video. It just starts going. Then the possibilities are endless. It's like, where do we stop? Like you said, I mean, in soccer they have the goalpost and they have the offsides. The offsides is unreal because now it's like how the hell are you going to be offside? It's ridiculous. It's so hard to stay on sides now. And then it's like in baseball, what are they going to do? Have a sensor directly over home plate now? I mean, that's what's going to wind up happening. They're going to have a sensor like attached to those nets that come out over home plate. I mean,
and like Dan was saying, they're doing a lot of like trial and error stuff in the other leagues and the minors and stuff. And some of the ideas are really bad. Yeah, like they got the drop. They want the drop third strike to be constantly live.
Oh, no.
Which I think is one of the worst ideas. Because everything, like we talked about with the juice balls, everything is about enhancing the offense. Yeah. So now on a 2-0 count, drop strike, gets back and hits the wall, now you could go to first base. So now you're afraid to throw a curveball in a pitcher's count. Oh, you got a guy 0-2 and you're afraid to throw a curveball. So now you're helping the offense so much, it's insane.
I'm pretty sure you can still first on any count with that new rule they're using in the Atlantic League.
That's what they're saying, on any pitch, on a 0-0 count.
Yeah, it's live.
Ball in the dirt, gets past the catcher, you can take first base. Which is insane.
0-0, 5.
Yeah, because they want more guys on base, so when they juice the balls and the ball goes out, then we get two guys to score. I mean, everything helps the offense. I've yet to see them try to help the defense. When are they going to help the pitcher?
That's in every sport now, though, man. Offense is what what they think the viewers want.
But baseball is such a pure game. That's what's so upsetting.
Well, that's why I think it's interesting what Dan said before, because Dan was saying, and you were going into this about how the fans are actually saying that's not necessarily the case, because you're saying that you did a poll and half the fan base still wants pitching. They still want to see, the perfect game,
Exactly. And a perfect game and a no-hitter,
which, by the way,
opposing team stands and cheers for a no-hitter.
Which, by the way,
in football is the opposing crowd standing and cheering if their team gets shut out.
Look at the Super Bowl. I personally enjoyed it, but the rest of the world apparently hated it.
No, I know.
But I mean,
this goes to show I swear to God, this goes to show the respect.
Yeah.
To show the respect that the opposing crowd will give you.
Yeah.
If your football team gets shut out, now one opposing fan is cheering for the other team's defense.
Yeah.
If you throw a no-hitter, you throw a perfect game, you will have 25, 30, 35, 40,000 people standing and cheering for the other team's pitcher.
The rarity is insane, and I'll give you a funny story.
But shutouts are very rare in football.
I'll give you a funny story, Dan. I worked at that MLB for years. I did editing there.
Yeah.
The last thing that our department wanted was a perfect game. You did not want to be there on the night of a perfect game because you weren't leaving the office until 6 a.m, New York City time.
I would have loved to have worked
the amount of content that you had to do for a perfect game was just like, it was the death wish, man. Oh, man.
Yeah, it'd be huge.
It would
be huge. And understandably, I mean...
Oh, absolutely. You just didn't want to be the one doing the work.
Sorry, what was that?
I'm saying you just didn't want to be the one doing the work that night. Like, we're all fans of baseball. It's all fun to watch, but you just didn't want to be the one in the office that night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you now, when I'm browsing through scores and you see that little rectangle, red rectangle underneath the box score saying perfect game or no-hitter, that's going to draw my attention regardless of what who's playing or, the standings between each team. I'm going to draw my attention to that and tune in until either it eventuates or it gets busted up. So you're right. That from a fan's perspective, that is, in my opinion, far more engaging than the guy who can hit 3 home runs in a game. We saw that 5 the other week.
Mm-hmm.